set my timer so I don't yak too long. I did not recognize Craig. It's so
Hey, it's
good
good
to see you. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. It's good to see
All
you too.
grown up.
Thank you.
I know.
So I wanted to talk today about what it means to be the first to do something, and in your own life reflect on you may be the first in your family to do something. And Jesus was the first to do many, many things when he was here on earth. And in order to be the first, accomplish anything, you have to have vision, goals, patience, a plan, perseverance, determination, resolve, resilience. And Galatians 6:9 says, "Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the right time we will reap a blessing if we don't give up." So considering being the first African American to do something is in a country that you love but doesn't always love you back, had to be even more compelling. So I just want to talk about some firsts. It's just a smidgen of the firsts today, not all of them. So for example, let's start with business and labor. 1640, first black landowners registered were Anthony and Mary Johnson, 1640. 1670, the first woman to own land in Boston was Zipporah Potter Atkins. 1810, first black-owned insurance company was the African Insurance Company. In 1889, the first black-owned bank was True Reformers Bank. In 1893, the first black-owned resort, Highland Beach in Maryland. The first black millionaire, 1905, was Robert Abbott, and he was the founder of the Chicago Defender. 1915, the first automobile manufacturing company, black-owned, was C.R. Patterson's and Son. 1921, first record company, Black Swan Records. 1921, first black-owned youth camp, Atwater Camp Atwater. 1983, first black-owned metropolitan newspaper, the Oakland Tribune, and that was owned by Robert Maynard. And in 2001, first black millionaire, Robert Johnson, owner of BET, Black Entertainment Television. In the military, 1778, first U.S. Army unit to have black men comprise more than half of its troops was the 1st Rhode Island Regiment. 1863, first commissioned officer to the U.S. Navy, Robert Smalls. And if you get a chance to read about Robert Smalls, absolutely amazing story. I would like to see a movie of what he did. Was amazing. 1877, first West Point graduate, Henry O. Flipper. 1900, first Congressional Medal of Honor winner, Sergeant William H. Carney. 1917, first combat pilot, Eugene Jacques Bullard. 1940, first military general, Benjamin O. Davis Sr. 1949, first graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy, Wesley A. Brown. 1979, first woman general, Hazel Johnson. 1980, first woman to graduate from the U.S. Naval Academy, Janie L. Mines. 1989, first chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Colin Powell. Well, 1998, first woman rear admiral in the U.S. Navy, Lillian Fishburne. In education, 1828, first graduate of Ivy League school, Theodore Sedgwick Wright. 1849, first college professor, Charles Lewis Reason. 1850, first woman to graduate from a college, Lucy Stanton. 1856, first college president, Daniel A. Payne. 1970, first high school that was black, 1870, Paul Laurence Dunbar High. 1876, first African American to earn a PhD, Edward Boucher. 1907, first Rhodes Scholar, Elaine Locke. 1921, first woman to earn a PhD in the same class. There were 3 women in the same class, Georgiana Simpson, Sadie Tanner Moselle, and Eva Beatrice Dykes. I imagine they were a great support and comfort to each other as they accomplished that together. 2001, first Ivy League University president, Ruth Simmons. 2013, first National PTA president, Otha Edward Thornton Jr. And in science, first black patent holder, Thomas Jennings. 1884, first black woman patent holder, Judy Reed. 1965, first member of the National Academy of Science, David Harold Blackwell. 1967, first black astronaut, Robert H. Lawrence. 1983, first black astronaut to travel in space, Guion Bluford. 1990, first black head of the National Science Foundation, Walter E. Massey. 1992, first woman astronaut, Mae Jemison. 1998, first space shuttle commander, Frederick D. Gregory. In medicine, 1832, first hospital dedicated to black patient care, the Georgia Infirmary. 1837, first medical doctor degree, James McCune Smith. 1864, first woman to receive a medical degree, Rebecca Lee Crumpler. 1864, first female dental surgeon, Ida Gray Nelson Rollins. 1891, first black-owned hospital, Provident Hospital, founded by Daniel Hale Williams. And Daniel Hale Williams shows up again in 1893 as a heart surgery pioneer. 1940, developer of the blood bank, Dr. Charles Drew. 1980, implantation of a heart defibrillator, first one to do it, Levi Watkins Jr. 1995, first black president of the American Medical Association, Lonnie Bristow. And finally, 1950, first black man to receive a Nobel Prize, Ralph Bunche. So in your life each day, you have the opportunity to be the first to make someone's day.
Amen.